hotels. Look what happened over here downtown El Paso. What was going on in that hotel? And it was in a nice area. Shady looking dudes outside just trying to mad dog. And I'm like, well, what are you, get out of here. What are you doing? So, because, like my shirt says, stay strapped or get clapped.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Adam Bauman Show. Today, I'm here with my good friend Celso, and we're going to be talking about a couple of various of today's issues that might be interesting to some of you. Celso, how you been?
Good, brother. Let me take these off. I'm just being silly. I haven't had my coffee yet. I had my water, but no coffee. No, I'm just trying to live, man. Trying to start some businesses, as you know. Trying to get that straightened out and just.
What were you doing? You were doing opening for concealed carry.
A license to carry. I recently got certified through the NRA for that, and we have tons of certifications. Yeah. And what do we do with them now? So I was going back and forth to the state of Texas for like 7 months, trying to figure out what can I do with these certifications. Can they, can I use them for something? And they finally gave me the go ahead to teach one.
Which one was that?
One section, the level 2 and 3 armed security, firearm course, and defensive tactics, which we've been teaching forever, handcuffing and all that stuff. So I want to start on that. And
when do you think that'll come to fruition?
Maybe a couple weeks. I still have to get a website done. I have to get a space. I have to get the LLC done. All those little steps that take to start a business. You've given me some info on it, but that's what I'm trying to do, just to keep busy, just to give back to the community.
That's awesome.
Because I see a lot of bad training or no training, which we know what happens when people don't train. Especially law enforcement or anything like that. It's a mess.
Did you see the Sharia law episode with Governor Abbott?
Yeah. That was something that. I just saw that yesterday, I think, wow, it's like trying the same thing that happens in Michigan. I know a couple of years ago there was a YouTube video on it where there was an officer and some of the citizens were talking about, hey, they wanted to go up to that area or whatever, and the officers said that they couldn't go, and I'm like, you're here in the U.S. and they're not letting them go drive through there because that's their city or something, or their compound. And I call it a compound.
I don't understand how those laws clearly are in direct opposition to our American laws.
Yep.
I don't understand how they think they can create a city of just Sharia law.
And you see what's happening in London and all that when you get that kind of ideology. It's they start attacking the women wearing shorts or whatever, but yet it's hypocritical because we know the people that we've been overseas. We know how some of those radicals, most of the radicals are.
Yep.
I'm not saying they're all bad. No, of course not. But when they radicalize it or try to impose your law, you're here to you have to assimilate. You have to assimilate to our way of life, our laws. If you don't like it, do a Rosie O'Donnell.
And a lot of them are here on a lot of them here on visas, or they're lawfully admitted for permanent residence, and that's just not allowed. You can't come here and practice your own types of laws and ignore the ones that are here in place in the United States.
Imagine if we went over there and started protesting, man. We'd be thrown in a head cut off in a minute.
You'd be headless.
Yeah, we'd be headless. It'd be like, wait, but I don't. Yeah, that's what these people don't understand. These young kids that are. I believe that they're the universities, the colleges. Then we go back to that. Then we go to what's happening with Colombia, with that guy, a Palestinian activist.
Yeah, what's his name? Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil, right?
Yeah, there
so he's a lapper. He's got his quote unquote green card, lawfully admitted for permanent residence. But the thing they don't understand, it's a privilege.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's not a right.
And like they said in the news before, I mean they're saying it all over any station you want, any YouTube channel, that if he was going to say that he was going to come down here, going to enter the United States to become a Palestinian activist and start doing these rallies, they will never let him in.
No.
like Senator Rubio said it. He goes, we would have never let you in if that was your intention to come here and start that. You know, do that in your own place. You know.
You know, and then he got married to an American citizen, and I believe she's either pregnant or she's going to give birth or somewhere along those lines. But that really makes no difference because it doesn't change his status. No, right? He still has his green card. He's not a citizen, and again, he's a privilege to be here. Yep. And he's going against everything that we believe in as a community. Yeah.
Touching on that, I think that I call it the radicalization of the college students. I just had lunch with a good friend. We were both in the military. He was there and also in Saudi, and he saw some stuff, and he was taking a course in California. Surprise, surprise, and the professor was quoting that the Army, that's what we were in, and he was that in the Army they use sleep deprivation on the Iraqi prisoners of war, to torture them. And he spoke up and said, no, we don't. He goes, I took care of a lot of prisoners of war, and we never did that. We treated them humanely. And he goes, why are you telling these kids that? These kids don't know. And
it sucks that he has a platform to be able to spew whatever kind of agenda he wants.
And even if he wouldn't have been in the class, the kids would have been kept on. That's why they have these they get radicalized. They start thinking, oh, wait a minute, and they can't think for themselves. You got to stand up and say, no, that doesn't sound right. Go, fact check. Like they like to fact check everything. Why don't you fact check them? Or tell them, hey, you got to stand up and say something, do something. Tell them, hey, I don't agree with that. Is that true? Is that true? What you're saying? I'm gonna go check this out. And somebody should have called them out on it, but they just stay quiet like little sheep and just listen to what they tell them and do what they tell them.
The other problem is you have those universities that are giving that kind of agenda from their professors, yet they're receiving our tax money to the tune of, what was it, $400 million? $400 million? Like I mean, so we're supporting them and they're teaching their own ideology. Yeah. It's just really annoying.
Oh, yeah, and all that. I mean, and they're a lot of the people are getting tired of it. People are getting tired of all that. They're getting tired of they're pushing their agendas. They're getting tired of it. I mean, that stuff's done. You woke, you go woke, you go broke. Yeah. Just like the Snow White that just happened. I mean, we were watching it yesterday on YouTube. Tons of theaters, just like 1 or 2 tickets sold, and because of what she said.
And it's an agenda.
Yeah. And it's like I told my wife, what I feel sorry for is that little girl that played the part of a young Snow White. Mm-hmm. She had no idea. She's, and as a parent, you're probably like, oh, look at my daughter, she's gonna be in the Snow White, and she's a little girl, but because of this woke actress that plays the adult Snow White, now that little girl's gonna be like, oh, they don't like my movie, or they don't like. I was all happy trying to promote it, and now like, yeah. They don't care. They don't care. They don't see that. I mean, they don't see that they're affecting other people's livelihoods. They got their millions, so they don't care. They're in their mansions. But
and I'm sure other people have the same mentality. It's stuff like that. I love Disney World, and I love thinking about times that I've gone to Disney World, and I like going back to Disney World. But I don't want to go when I spend my money on a place that does this kind of films.
Well, they just came out. I think they're going to come out with a Christian, which is. Wow, it's like the first time, and people keep an eye on that one, which is going to be like very, like let's see how legit it is, because they haven't done anything like that, and ever since they've been woke for all these years. But yeah, there's no one's going to see this movie, and I'm like, and my wife was thinking about taking it until I told her, wait a minute, look what this girl's saying, and of course she voiced her opposition against Trump supporters. You don't go against the president, man. How many millions of us voted for him? Get out of here. You're going against all of us here when you start talking about President Trump, and they like to call him Trump.
Well, Trump. It's funny because I tell my wife, all these people that are speaking out, they're firebombing Tesla dealerships, Teslas. These are all the people that didn't vote for Trump anyways. Yeah, they're the ones that
I think they're getting paid to do
a loud noise because they didn't get their way.
Yeah, the crybabies. Mm-hmm. They start yelling. Go paint your hair blue and figure out what restroom to use. Silly. It's an illness. It really like a mental illness.
And these activists, they're so pro electric vehicles, but now they're firebombing.
Yeah.
The one thing that they were pro.
As long as you're, just like they loved Trump back in the 80s, they loved him. Also he's a racist. He had all these pictures with, he did so many things, and because they hate him because he exposed them. They can't find anything on him. They're trying to do everything, and now they hate him because he knows how they play the game, and he's exposing them for it.
You know, speaking of the Teslas and back to Elon Musk, right, with Doge.
Yeah.
The big thing now is the whole Medicaid or Social Security that they're looking into. I personally think that is a positive thing because there's a lot of fraud going on in that arena as well. I don't think if everybody takes a look at it, they're afraid, oh, he's going to cut off people that deserve it. That's not the case at all. That's not what their objective is. Yeah. It's to weed out the fraud and the abuse.
My wife had a friend, a coworker, that through Facebook, surprise, started saying, stating that, wrote down that, he's taking VA benefits. We looked into it. What they're cutting down is the sexual stuff, like the transitioning stuff, as they should.
Exactly.
As they should.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not cutting any VA benefits, anything like that. They're not touching that. They're cutting those sick agenda stuff that they're pushing.
Money shouldn't be spent. The VA money especially shouldn't be spent on transitions for those that want to take a different gender or identity. That's ridiculous.
Don't get me started on the religion part of that. But the Bible states it simple. A man should not even wear women's clothing. But they don't know the Bible. They all say God is love. God is love. But he's also a righteous God, and he will judge. But that's a totally different 18,000 hours we can spend on that. But
I like the religious part of Celso that I see. It's good.
But going back to that, the Governor Abbott, I mean that was, I think that's the second time, if I'm not mistaken, the second time that he's shut it down, where they've tried that Sharia law here in Texas. I'm like, what? Off of Plano, Texas, which is
that's not going to fly in Texas.
No. No, we have that. We have the.
You get these. A lot of these people even come across. For the past 4 years, right? They've come across unchecked and unvetted.
Oh,
so
totally.
I mean, God knows how many more of them are here that want to create their own type of little community.
Yeah, because we were there. We saw how many would come in. I mean, before I retired, 3 a.m, we off of a gate there at Clint that's totally open. We had a rush of maybe 80, 90 bodies came in, and you could only catch what you can. You're only grabbing people.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, ATV was out there, horse patrol, but it was already late. They ran through, they got picked up. Who are those people? We don't know who they were. We grabbed what we could, try to help out. But there was only, maybe 30 of us at the most, and you have maybe 80, 90 that came in. The National Guard was he just kept trying to count. He's like, there's so many of them just come in. And that's just in one little episode, one little.
Yeah. Well, I remember we'd go to Tucson.
Oh my goodness.
We'd follow a sign. It wasn't a sign. It wasn't a couple of footprints. It was a highway of footprints.
Yeah.
And it was very easy to follow. But
like 40 feet wide, and that was just one group. And then you see, you had to pick which one you wanted to go after.
Because there's only one of you.
Yeah, there's only one of you.
Yeah, and they're scattering like.
Yeah, it was, and you don't know who these people are. Men and women. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then, again, for the past 4 years, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that they were getting away from Border Patrol. They were being allowed in. They're being flown in, shipped in, just allowed to cross for no reason.
Yeah.
Right? No reason to be here.
None. Canadian border is ridiculous. It was that area where people already know. If people don't know, it's so open, and you just cross a hill and you're in Canada, in the U.S., and they don't have enough people.
Yeah.
Well, the agents to go up a mountain or to go up a hill, and it's going to take them all shift long, and then look for these people. It's ridiculous. You're talking about the southern border being open, the northern border is.
But now, since Trump took office, and it's been I don't know, has it been 2 months? It's shut down.
How did that happen?
Almost completely, the southern border. I think there's an article that said it's a 15-year low in crossings, which is just amazing. Yeah. And when you think about it, Biden kept claiming that he needs new law to be passed, new legislation to be passed in Congress. There wasn't any new legislation passed in Congress. No. We just applied what was on the books, and here you go.
Just do that. Just But that was just it.
It really makes me sick because the past 4 years, you got representatives like Veronica Escobar who sat there and basically allowed it. I mean, she was not outspoken against it. Yeah. I mean, even if she was silent and didn't say anything, she's complicit, and allowing all these people to come across the border. And the sad part is El Paso's border community.
Yep.
And it affects us probably the most.
Yeah. It's ridiculous how all these Democrats. Ever since I saw that the latest with the little boy that had cancer, that they made a Secret Service agent, and then Lincoln Riley and all those people and they couldn't even stand up and clap for them. That just shows you anything they have to say is irrelevant. They can say what they want and say, oh, what about that? I said, where was that same energy? Where was that same energy when these women were getting murdered and raped and what have you? Where was that same energy? How come you didn't stand up and say something then and voice your disgust? But no, so it's like, no.
And then you got the judge, who was Judge Bozeman, who was against, bringing those 200 and how many over back to Venezuela.
What did you see what they say about that his daughter was working with like
I did.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. That's always something. There's always a catch to why they're doing what they're doing.
So one of the news organizations brought it up is like, well, okay, you're against them being flown out, but yet were you against them coming across? Unvetted, unchecked. No,
exactly. Where's that energy at? Because it doesn't affect them. Exactly. Now, if just like what was it a while back? It was one of those defund the police. She was a mayor. No, she was a mayor, city rep. And then she got assaulted. And then she even had.
Well, then it became relevant for her.
Yeah, then it became. Right. Oh, we need to stop it. Oh, wait a minute. You wanted to defund the police. Now, when it affects you, now it's. So you
remember all the riots up in Portland? They were burning down police stations, the parks, and whatever else.
Democrat City.
They actually had, and this is fact check it there. Kamala and her cronies came out with a group that actually funded the bail money for all these people. So they would get arrested for firebombing police stations, and then they'd be out the next day because the money was there.
Don Bongino was saying it when he had his podcast still, that he would see these because they were staying at nice hotels, as they should, because they have the money for it, and the same people that were rioting, whatever was staying he would see them at the same hotel.
Yep.
Like you're like, wait a minute, who's paying for these?
Me and you are taxpayer money.
Yeah,
yes, right?
our taxpayer money is going to these activists. Yeah.
And then talking about money, right? So up in New York City, they're spending to the amount, I think, to the tune of $50 million towards food and hotel for these illegal immigrants, and it's really saddening that money could have been used towards community, right? Towards the less fortunate up there.
Yeah.
But no.
For mental health for them, because. You're homeless. Who knows? Obviously, something is wrong. You've had a bad, but get them the help they need and take care of our own people. And because we don't know who these people are that are staying in the hotels. Look what happened over here downtown El Paso. What was going on in that hotel? And it was in a nice area. I remember stopping before all this happened, because there was that. You have that pizza. Shout out to that pizza. It was Le Bang Bang Pizza downtown El Paso. It's awesome. Man. That pizza is awesome. If y'all have a chance, downtown in El Paso, Le Bang Bang. It's called Le Bang Bang. It's a pizza place, the chicken, the hot wings, and man, the owners, the two owners, they're awesome people. They make it out of the way. But that hotel that these Tren de Agua, whatever we're staying in, was right there in the corner. So I would park our vehicle. Me and my wife would get, and I remember these shady looking dudes outside just trying to mad dog, and I'm like, well, what are you get out of here, what are you doing? So. Because, like my shirt says, stay strapped or get clapped, But we would go and eat pizza, and then we'd walk back out, and, they'd leave our vehicle alone. But you could see some shady stuff going on in that hotel. And all of a sudden it came out in the news that they were doing all this stuff there. Of course. And now it's no longer occupied, I guess. But, yeah, man, you don't know who's in there. You don't know who's coming across. You don't know who's...
No. Did you see Veronica Escobar claiming racial profiling by the immigration agents? So there's a barbershop up in the Northeast, I want to say it was, right? They entered and started questioning people as to their citizenship or immigration status or whatever. She claimed racial profiling, but yet I would bet that she has no idea what the intel or the articulable facts of why they went in there, right?
Yeah.
There's something actually came out of the news that that had been a problem. Somebody complained about that area of Trendeawa, characters being up there. And I want to say it was either one of the departments within the city actually requested, and they showed it on the news.
Did
they go out there and provide that, do a check out there.
But of course, you jump to the emotions.
But you got Veronica Escobar committing racial profiling, right? Which is the worst thing you can do to somebody, especially an immigration agent.
They know the triggers for the people that believe it, that watch CNN.
Yep.
Or they watch The View, which I don't even know why that show's even on anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the triggers. Like, we have family in Seattle. My wife has tons of family in Seattle and California. Unfortunately, they believe the verbiage that's being said. It's just disgusting. I saw it on the news myself. I could only stomach 2 days in Seattle. It's a beautiful, beautiful state, but just watching the news itself was disgusting. Because at least here, anywhere else you go, for the most part that I've been, you watch the news and they are pretty non-biased. They're pretty fair. They're over there in Seattle, their news station. Oh my goodness, I thought it was The View. Every other thing, I even recorded it on my phone. I couldn't believe it. They were talking so bad about Trump and about the policy. And
it's very liberal up there.
Yeah, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is the news. No wonder these people are brainwashed.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you even listen to that? That's unfortunately that's a lot of our family from over there. And we try to educate them, but it's on them. It's on them.
All right, I want to circle back to DJ Daniels during Trump's congressional address. I think it's important to take a look at the Democrats. Right, he mentioned a lot of good things. Right.
Yeah.
Number one, DJ Daniels, his former brain cancer is not curable.
Yeah.
Right.
Brain and spine cancer. There's no cure for what he has.
Yeah. So his ultimate dream was to become a Secret Service agent, which President Trump made that happen. He also, amongst other things, he also mentioned no taxation on tips or Social Security, which for El Paso I think is great. We have a lot of service workers here in El Paso. I think really benefit El Paso. But if you take a look at the Democrats and their reaction, we'll play a video here in a minute.
Oh my goodness!
They sit on their hands and make actually little smirks.
Yeah.
If you want to play the video.
And I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, and these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Yep, it shows her disgust for
There's
whatever.
Our Congresswoman, Veronica Escobar, making quite the smirk at his remarks. All these great things that he's doing for America, and that's her reaction to it.
That he's doing for us. They're so out of touch.
They are.
They're so out of touch. It's like the celebrities, the so-called stars. The only stars are in the sky, not these fools. But they're so out of touch. They're so out of touch.
Yeah, it makes me sick to my stomach that we have that kind of representation, and not just El Paso, but across the board. It's so politically divided.
Yeah.
I don't care what president is sitting up there, if it's a Democratic or a Republican. If they have a great idea that's going to benefit your constituents or America across the board, be great with it.
Yeah. Look at the last 4 years. We didn't cry about it. We were just like, we were disgusted. We were like, are you kidding me? All these little different policies and agendas that were being pushed, and did we go and burn down things? And no, but they don't get their way, and they're like little kids and start crying.
Right, and you could have forecasted this one because if it's say 25% of the country that didn't vote for Trump or whatever it is, these are the people that are doing that. I can guarantee you, all these people that are going out and firebombing the Teslas, the dealerships, or whatever they're doing, ranting, raving loudly, they're the ones that voted for Kamala Harris. They didn't vote for Trump.
Nope. But it's like you said, it's disgusting. That's the kind of representation. Not only that, like you said, they couldn't even clap or stand up for the little DJ who's gonna pass away. He has incurable form of cancer. Hopefully, God's doing the miracle business, but they couldn't even have sympathy or a human side to them.
No, there's
it's
zero,
like a
zero
demonic
compassion. Look at that face.
Demonic.
Zero compassion.
That's sickness. And then he brought up the other names too. There were Laken Riley and other ones that had also been murdered by illegal immigrants, and they couldn't even.
And that's their reaction.
They couldn't stand up. They couldn't say anything. They were just like, whatever.
Yep.
That's sick. It's sickening to see.
It is.
It's sickening. Back in the old days, they would have been dragged out. back in when this nation was first founded, they wouldn't stand for that.
Well, back in the old days, it was more cohesiveness, right? It wasn't this so politically divided down party lines, so much so that you can't have compassion for a child that's going to probably most likely pass away.
Yeah. They're mad because their money's being taken away from because Elon's found out their scam.
Right.
That's why they're pissed, because their money now that they had allocated. Yeah. Yeah.
There's only one reason why Veronica accumulated $13 million in her 6 years in office. I mean,
really?
She's getting it from somewhere.
Yeah. Right? What's their regular annual salary?
170.
170,000. Yeah. Give me that, and I'll be happy with that right now. Give me $70, I'll be happy with it. Most of the people down the street, you'll be giving a $20 bill. It doesn't take anything to be. It doesn't take anything to be nice or to be a human. You be humane towards your fellow man, but they can't even do that.
No. Well, everybody, thanks for attending. Thanks for watching. Celso, thank you so much for coming in. Really enjoy our discussions. We have a lot more topics we want to talk about that we couldn't get to today. But until next time, we'll see you then.